Hello, welcome to Blouse #1 project vlog. My name is Chloe and this is a channel about all the things knitting. And in this video I'm taking you with me for the whole process of knitting this gorgeous blouse. It's done with 100% silk, and there is a twist. I don't actually have knitting with olive here where I live, so I took a challenge. You're gonna see that in the next clip. It's gonna be a lot of trial and error, frogging, shaping, trying to understand how this fits to my body. If you like this kind of stuff, take something nice to drink and a project to work on, and let's spend this time together. By the way, write in the comments what's on your needles. I'm very curious what people are working on in this lovely spring summer period. On my needles right now is Clemente sweater and a crochet summer dress. But this video is not about current projects, it's about this beautiful finished one. I fell in love with this color so much. I was just browsing the marketplace and I saw that silk. Just look at the color. I will add the picture at the nice lighting when you can really see the color, because of course with this artificial light it's terrible, but it's so dark outside. We have snow. It's 10th of April. Why? The problem with this thing is it's very thin silk. 3,000 meters and 100 grams. John will be helping me today. John is my husband. You are too tall. Go behind me, please, somehow. I have 4 bobbins and I need to wind them into 12 strands, 12 plies. So how it's gonna work, I have a cake stand here. I used to bake, so it's spinning. And I will have bobbins on it, like this. Then I think the strand will go through the whole table to this thing. I'm using the tip of the pen to help me with the tension of the strands. I saw this on YouTube. Give me. So I'm just putting my threads in it.
How much do you think we've done?
Not much.
2%.
Yeah. It wasn't that hard actually. In the end, John needed to go to work, so I finished it myself. I think I needed him more for moral support. And I stopped spinning the cake stand. I have 403 grams of silk. I'm keeping my yarn on a little vintage salad bowl I have, so the cakes would be stable and wouldn't unravel. That's what I have. I cast it on yesterday. So now I just wanted to show you, to document the process. I cast it on yesterday, so that's the collar, boat neck collar. Of course, it's very rolly. Up. It's gonna be something like that. Silk doesn't really stretch in blocking, but it might go longer, and I should keep in mind. So far, I love the process. It's very interesting feeling on the hands. I've not done I don't have much experience with different yarns and fibers, but it's very unusual from what I used to knit from. That's about 3 hours of work. I'm timing my knit this time. I saw it. Oh, beautiful girl from UK. I think she's Katie. I'm not sure. I will write her name. And I love that she's timing her knits to find out how long they took.
Size, and I was doing rib. Does that make a difference as well?
Yeah.
So it was a bit hard on my hands.
Isn't it just perfect? I connected for the armholes and now knitting it around, and look at it. The fit is more than I could have wanted. I think it's perfect. I added 10 stitches on each side here. The sleeves look like a lot. I don't remember at the sample pictures them being so big, but maybe just my imagination and everything will be fine. I'm in love with the fit. You can see on the side how this line of increases look. I think it's quite nice. I do hope that somewhere here will relax a little bit with the blocking. Let me show you the close-up of the shoulder, of the back, of the throat again. My plan now is to do a few German short rows. I don't really know how many rows will I make. I do need to do some research and calculations, but Few German short rows should even the front and the back for me, and then I will just go straight down. The pattern actually from this moment says to go just down without any decreases and increases, but I really want it to be nicely fitted. So I'm planning, although silk will drape, but I'm still planning to do a few decreases for the waist and few decreases here. So I want to do decreases up to my butt, after my bust, and few more decreases for the waist. Although my measurements from under bust to my waist are almost the same, there are just few centimeters difference, but I still do want to do them. My only fear is that after blocking, silk can stretch down quite a bit and I will lose all this definition of my waist. We cross this bridge and we come to it. All right, I will see you after some German short rows and probably somewhere about here. On my personal opinion, I did a very good job. They look perfect. And I already did about 6 decreases on the sides to make it more fitted, and look how good it looks. I do have a problem though. The back now is significantly shorter than the front. And watching yesterday's clip, I realized that I didn't need to do short rows. It was straight. So the line between my back and my front was perfectly horizontal. I didn't need extra length in the front. What I think did happen is because of the increases here, like I increased 20 stitches, the length kind of fixed itself. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit upset about that mistake, especially because it's very, very stupid. My plan is frog everything to the beginning of the short rows, do only like 6 instead of 16, and keep knitting. It's been so long since I've updated you, and I already have a full body. Not only that, I blocked the part you've seen, tried it on, and frogged it. I knew that the silk will stretch down a lot, but I didn't realize that it's going to be such a drastic difference. And all my bust shaping just slipped down, and I had like a big extra fabric like here. I didn't show you, I'm sorry. I was quite upset and tired, so I just did it all at once. And then there were a few days when I just didn't want to face the camera. But let me talk a little bit about what I've changed and how it's looking now. I did change the amount of rows on my top part before connecting for the armholes. I did 10 rows less and did increases in a faster pace. So the sleeves would still be the same amount of stitches. I didn't do the short rows this time, but did still add 10 stitches on top and decrease them on the bottom. I did a lot of decreases to fit my waist. Now I think that maybe it's too much because the fabric is so drapey, so soft. It doesn't really go well with the structured form. Right now this garment is blocked until like this line, so I hope that maybe it's gonna relax a little bit, go a little bit longer, maybe wider, and will fit nicely. I'm not frogging it yet, but if it still will be weird looking, I will frog it. I learned my lesson, and now I'm doing sleeve with less rows when it's set in a pattern. I hope that blocking will unroll the bottom, and let's see how it looks. I finished the sleeve according to the pattern, but made it a little bit longer. The pattern asked for 43 centimeters. I think mine is 46, 48, and it's still not long enough. My hand from the armpit is 50 centimeters. But it's gonna stretch quite drastically, as we remember. So I left, don't know how much is it, 7 centimeters? Hopefully it's gonna be like perfect. I want it to be right here. It's quite tight. I'm surprised. Although maybe after blocking the silk will fluffen up and get more relaxed, because on the top, I think you can you? I'll come closer. You maybe can see the line where blocked part is finishing and unblocked part is starting. I can definitely see it. Same thing on a body. My plan is to measure it again and then block it and see how long it will grow. Hey, it's done. The blouse number 1 by My Favorite Things Knitwear, done with 12 plies of chape silk. I can't really say that I'm the biggest fan of the fit. I think it's a little bit too small for me. The gauge was wrong in the end. I started knitting much tighter than I was supposed to. And now I kind of see why. I started the new project on 5mm needles, and I see that 19 stitches for 10 centimeters is a loose knit for me on these needles. You live and you learn. I will give it to my mom. It fits her much better. She's smaller than me in size and height, so it's perfect for her. I guess I need to say some final words. That was definitely a curious project. It was frogged and fixed, and I tried different shaping, and I didn't really follow the pattern like up from here. And I can't say it's my success. I can say I'm very excited about the project, but it was definitely an enjoyable knit. It was a time well spent. The pattern is amazing. I really love how it's written. I think that My Favorite Things Knitwear doing very high quality patterns. This one is really straightforward, really easy to understand. I didn't have a single moment when I didn't know what to do. My opinion on a yarn: luxurious, gorgeous, a bit hard to work with, although very nice feeling on my fingers. And I figured out the minus of this yarn only now when I was putting it on. It's catching on everything, every little hook on my bra, on my skirt, on my pants, and it's catching on it. And the huge long string, one of the plies of the silk, is pulling out. So this is a knit to be worn very, very carefully, and it's probably not very durable. Although silk is very durable, but because it's 12 plies, it's gonna be problematic. And my cat is eating the yarn. Can't really give any opinions on the fit because I messed up the gauge. If the gauge would be right, it might have fit perfectly, or it still might have been a little bit big. Have no idea. I would prefer it to be less close fitting. Overall, great project, great time spent. I've not timed it. I was big. I did in the beginning, but I stopped from the first unraveling. Hope you had a great time watching this video. Subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, and see you next one. Bye!